Okay, before I actually start this video, I'm gonna need you to look at my socks.
Now that that's out of the way, happy National Coming Out Day on Saturday. In honor of National Coming Out Day, we are going to make a series of videos about coming out. So first of all, I'll preface this by saying I feel like there's a lot of emphasis on like everyone has to come out. It's okay not to. It's okay to, depending on circumstances. I mean, obviously, ideally, everyone can be out, but realistically, not everyone can be. So if you feel like it's not safe for you to come out, don't feel pressured by what everyone's saying that you should be doing, because that's not necessarily the case. For example, if you're still a kid or you're still in school or dependent on someone and you have like reason to think that they're not going to be supportive or that there's like a uh, real chance that you would be in danger if you came out to them, maybe don't. Maybe wait until you're more independent and you can come out, or maybe, don't. I mean, it just depends on whatever's best for you. It might be hard, but yeah. If you do think that something might go wrong and you are going to come out anyway, it's a good idea to have a plan. Like, if you're going to get kicked out of the house, where you're going to go. There are often a lot of resources. Again, the internet is a good place to look into this kind of stuff. Okay, now that I've gotten past the sort of depressing part, let's say you're actually going to come out. There are some strategies for doing it. One is just to blurt it out. That's, an option. Um, Another one, if you're more comfortable maybe having someone with you, you can have someone with you. Um, that's always an option. I considered doing that. I didn't end up doing that, but I considered doing that when I came out to my parents. In person probably is the ideal way to come out to someone, but for a lot of us, including me, that's not necessarily an option. That might just seem impossible. It might actually not be possible for you to come out in person to somebody. So in that case, you can always try the phone. I've done that. Email is a way to do it. I sent my parents an email. It didn't turn out that great, but it wasn't because of the email. Anyway, that's a story for another time. A lot of people now come out via Facebook. That's an option. If you just want to tell everybody at once, that's the way to do it. So yeah, there's a multitude of ways to do it. Like I said, just make sure that whatever way you decide, you're going to be safe.
There is a lot of stuff to keep in mind when coming out to people. It's really important, I think, to also tell people whether or not they can out you to other people. So, like, I came out to my mom and my dad first, and then I told my mom, go ahead, tell all my grandparents, that's fine. Tell everyone you know, that's fine. And I basically counted on her to tell the rest of the family. So you may want to do that. You may want to come out to one person who then can, like, can safely come out to other people for you, or you may want to come out to someone and say you really don't tell anybody else. And it's really important to clarify that. Some people will maintain confidence just automatically, and some people may not realize that what you've told them is very personal and needs to stay with them. You should also be ready to answer some questions, or at least offer some resources. If you don't want to answer questions, you can check out our early video on like how you don't have to answer people's questions. But when you do come out to someone, they may, if they don't know a whole lot about, trans stuff or queer stuff in general, you may have to answer a lot of questions like, does this mean you're gay now? Or whatever. So just be ready for that. Think about some sort of common misconceptions and what you can do to address them. And if, again, like if you don't want to answer people's questions, you should at least be ready to offer them resources, because it's not a good idea to let someone walk away from you coming out to them with a totally wrong idea of what you just told them. So get ready to clarify some things. And along with that, I would recommend knowing what name and pronouns people should be using for you now, if you're coming out as trans specifically, or gender nonconforming or something like that. It's totally okay to be like, I don't know what I want to be called yet. I don't know what my name is, what like my new name is going to be, or I don't know what pronouns I prefer right now. But for someone who, especially cis people and especially people who don't know a whole lot about trans issues and are not very savvy on that, it's really important to, even if you don't know, say, I don't know, but here is what you should call me now. It's totally okay not to know. It's totally okay to have like a really strong preference. It's also totally okay to say, call me this in these situations and call me this in these other situations. Like, privately, please use male pronouns for me, but when we're in public, I would like you to still use female pronouns or whatever. Be as clear and as explicit about that as possible. Even if it may change later, you can say this may change later, but right now this is what I need from you, and be super clear. Don't say, if it's all right, then, like, I guess maybe you could try doing this. Because a lot of people won't. They just won't exert the effort. So even if it changes, even if you're not super sure, give people something so that they know what to call you, like, in that moment. Even if you legitimately don't have a preference. That's the best advice I can give, so good luck.